Well, welcome to True Quit. This is Michael Gregory. I'm the founder of True Quit, and I have here with me Dave McCarthy. Good for you to come out, Dave, on this
No worries.
fine
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for the
afternoon.
invitation. Yeah, it's a great day.
Now, the reason why I asked Dave out here is because it's been so long since I actually quit smoking, and since I experienced cravings because of the True Quit method, I actually forgot what it was like to want to quit smoking. So I just thought that I'd ask Dave, because Dave quit, I don't know, a month ago, was it? Or
Yeah, I think the big day was the 10th of March, 2017.
Yeah. So he still has the memory of what it's like to want to quit. Tell us a bit, Dave, about how it was. So how long had you wanted to quit, and what have you tried? What did you try beforehand?
Oh yeah, look, Michael, I've been smoking since I was 18 years of age, and so I'm now in my early 50s, and I had been trying to quit for many years. Had tried hypnotherapy twice.
Right.
Hypnotherapy twice. Had gone on a number of quit programs as well, and just had not been able to get past the urges and the cravings, really. The physical and the mental urges and cravings.
So did you try patches?
Patches as well. Yeah. Patches as well.
Did you try Champix?
Champix,
Yeah.
Champix as well. Patches, chewing gum.
Yeah.
All those different.
Willpower?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fail. It was not good.
I shouldn't be laughing because each time you try to quit and then it doesn't work. What was that like?
Look, it's really discouraging. It's really discouraging because for me, I actually hated smoking. I hated it, and so every time that I put one to my mouth, it was like being defeated, and I was being defeated up to 15, 20 times in any 24-hour period. And so you're kind of taking a real hiding with it, and you associate it with so many things like having a beer.
Yeah.
Gotta have a smoke, or you're stressed. Gotta have a smoke, or something's not quite going right. You gotta have a smoke, and those things are kind of tied to you, and it's really hard to break that habit, the addiction, the urges and the craving. I just found for me was really hard. It was really hard until I came to across True Quit.
So obviously you wanted to quit for a long time.
Yeah.
And like between the attempts to quit,
Yep.
you had that idea, I want to quit. What stopped you from taking action, or what was going through your mind? What were the thoughts that were going through your mind each time you had the thought, I want to quit?
Yep. It had been planted in my head, and I probably was the one that planted it there, that it was actually too hard to do.
Right.
Because I'd actually failed a number of times, and each time when you fail, you have that thought, it's just too hard to do,
Right.
because you're fighting against yourself. And in those times of when you're really under the hammer, or when a situation comes along where you just automatically associate, I'm doing this activity, then I need to do another activity, which is smoking. So it's really closely attached. And your question is,
what were the thoughts? Thoughts that were going through your mind?
I should stop smoking. It is not healthy. All the research tells you this.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily give you the motivation to be able to smoke, because you're constantly fighting the physical craving and the mental urge.
Did you just believe that you couldn't do it,
Absolutely.
or that it was going to be hard,
Yep.
like that you'd have to fight?
Yep.
And so that you had to kind of be ready to fight, like you had to psych yourself up, and you had to get your life in a certain position where there was no stress, so that you could actually take the fight head on. Was that what was stopping you, because you just weren't ready for the fight at that time?
That's a fair comment, because any time that I wanted to stop smoking, yes, it was going to be hard, oh, it's, and you have a smoke when you're in that phase of not trying not to smoke. Oh no, it's too hard.
Right.
And, it's a fight, and you have to prepare yourself. You have to physically, mentally get yourself right, and you kind of say, oh yeah, when the conditions are right,
So you put it off.
yeah, I'll stop. I'll give this a real go. When the reality is that they're never going to be right.
Yeah.
They're never going to be perfect. They're never going to be ideal.
Well, you can see that now in
Yeah.
hindsight, but at the time, like the thoughts, just to summarise, was that it was too hard,
Yep.
and you didn't believe that you could do it easily
Absolutely.
at that time in your life.
Yep, too hard, and I did not believe that I could actually conquer the habit.
Because you believed you had to use willpower.
Absolutely. Oh well, that was the only way.
Right.
You know,
Even with
that-
even with the tablets, even with
Even with the tablets, even with the tablets, even with hypnotherapy, you still needed willpower.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that was what was stopping you from actually trying. Okay. And then, what? In contrast to all those attempts,
Yep.
how did you find the True Quit process?
A true quit, this is what I found, I found the education crucial. There's a number of videotapes of clips that you're encouraged to watch. And my advice to any of you who are wanting to take on True Quit, and I recommend it to all smokers, is that you must do that education part first. Because what that does, and I'll tell you what it does, is that it pulls apart the mental processes around smoking. And once you understand that, and it isn't hard, honestly, it isn't hard at all, mainly because of the way that the clips are actually put together. They're very, take you through very slowly and deliberately. The good thing is that you can watch them over and over again if you didn't quite understand something. So this is what True Quit did. It sounds like, I might be talking a lot, so it sounds like a long process, but it actually isn't. So it gives you insight into what urges are and what cravings are and the effect that they have on you and how they play upon you every day and how you can actually control it. You can control it. You can control it. That's the great thing about it.
So did you need to use willpower?
No, and that's what surprised me, honestly. I thought that if you were trying to stop smoking, even the word trying means that you've got to exert some degree of willpower.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in front of this camera telling you is that you actually don't. And that's true.
And
You don't.
and so that's because of the technique. The mental technique.
Yep. The mental technique is crucial because every time that you get an urge or a craving, it gives you the model or the pathway to follow where you can, where that craving or urge no longer has an effect.
And so you did have cravings,
Yep.
right? And then you did the technique.
Yep.
And what happened?
What you find, surprisingly, I was expecting a real fight. And the reality is that when you use the techniques consistently, or even if there's one time where you forget the technique, but next time you remember it, it is so effective at being able to. What it does is that it replaces the urge or the craving with something else, and that something else is not an urge or a craving, if that makes sense.
Well, it's actually quite peaceful.
Yeah.
Like the
It
craving
is.
just disappears.
Yes.
Would that be right?
Geez, you've just summarised what I said in about 3 seconds. Yeah, and it is, and it's not like ominous, this kind of Zen type thing. It isn't. It's just a place of peace and contentment. For me, it was more about not so much peace but contentment. That yes, I had this urge. I used the technique. The urge or the craving was no longer there. I'm happy with that.
And as a
I'm
bloke,
not smoking. Yep.
as a bloke who has come from a long time of struggle to try and quit, how does it, how do you feel about the fact that you're not smoking now?
Look,
Can you believe it?
I can't believe it, to tell you the truth. I can't believe that I can stroll into a pub, well, my friend's still smoking, and there's smokers all around me. And even if they offer me a smoke, or somebody smoking next to me, and they've known that I've been a smoker, they offer me a smoke, and I'll just, no, I actually don't want to smoke.
And is that because like you do the technique at that time very quickly?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I'll even prepare myself. Oh yeah, I'm going into a smoker's area. Oh yeah, my mate smoked. I'll just recall that this is what I've got to do to remain a non-smoker, and I'm really proud to be able to say that I'm a non-smoker. I'm a non-smoker.
Yeah. No, it's really great. It's really great. It's been great to be able to help you. So you had all that struggle, and actually you didn't need to put it off.
No, I didn't need to. All the techniques that I've tried in the past, they do not address the area of mental and physical cravings. That's been the whole strength of TrueFoot.
Addressing the mental and the physical cravings.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm so pleased for you. I'm so pleased for the rest of your life.
My extended life.
Yeah, that's right. And it's also all of your kids and other friends and family. They no longer worry about you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know. So thank you so much for coming out and sharing this.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that.
It's worth it.
And I really appreciate it for you, because when you think about quitting, most people were in the situation that Dave was in, thinking that it was going to be hard, and you put it off because you think you have to use willpower. But really that's just where you don't understand all the pieces in the puzzle.